Namaste and welcome to this practice for our fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra. And for our practice today, you'll require a bolster and 2 bricks. We've been working our way through the 7 primary chakras if you have done these, and you can do each one practice individually. You don't have to move through them all. For the 4th chakra, of course, and that would be where the upper and the lower converge, so in the middle of the 7 primary chakras. We'll be opening up our heart, the front, and also to the sides. Let's begin in supported fish pose. That will require your 2 bricks. Now I'm going to place one at the tallest height at the top of the mat. The second one is going to go between your shoulder blades. I'm going to turn around and show that. And then you'll have to get yourself comfortably onto this. It might be a little tricky, it might be a little edgy, but that's okay. Placing that brick lengthwise between the shoulder blades. Lay it on down. You can start with your knees bent, feet on the mat. You might even stay there. And then that taller brick is there to catch your head. So you may have to adjust your position a little bit. A little awkward with the ponytail. Okay, there. Now you can start with your knees bent. You can even keep them there, or maybe you extend your legs long. You can stretch out the legs. You can see here, this is a supported back bend, and when we're doing our back bend, the heart is opening. Stretch the arms away from the body. And you might, in your mind's eye, picture emerald green. So that's the color that represents the heart chakra, the Anahata chakra. 2 minutes or so. And if you have stretched out the legs, let's bring the foot soles back to the mat to start. Carefully come off your blocks onto your side. And maybe we'll rest on the side for a moment. And while you're resting on your side, we'll talk about our next shapes. It's going to be 3 shapes put together all on one side. We're going to do a supported side bend, a side lying Buddha, and then a lateral half butterfly. All right. I'm going to push my way up so I can clear the bricks off. to the side and bring the bolster. No, I'm going to start on the right side. I encourage you to start on the right side too, so as I talk through the left and the right, it's going to make sense that we're all on the same side. You're going to place that bolster perpendicular about 2/3 of the way up the mat. This is where it's going to rest, is on the side body here in the ribs, maybe just below the ribs. Depends on how long your torso is. Okay. Causing a lateral flexion or a lateral side bend here. The legs will float up into chair position, knees bent, feet our knees are stacked on top of each other rather. Come over your bolster, stretch your arms overhead, interlace your fingers together, and then release your index finger, pardon me, and your thumbs so you're in a steeple position. Okay, about 1 minute. Hopefully your head can be supported on your arm while we're here. Good. Push your way up just enough that you can get your bolster out, but don't come off that side. We're going to stay there and transition into a lying Buddha. So we're going to stretch the legs long, stack those legs on top of each other. Bring your hands just in front, a little bit to the side, and push your way up. Lying Buddha. Okay? 1 minute here. Good. Pushing all the way up to your seat. The right leg, the one that's underneath, we're going to bend that knee and bring that right foot sole into the left thigh. Left leg will be extended out to the side. So we're in a half butterfly. Right leg in, left leg extended. And we're going to turn this into, again, some more lateral flexion. If your left arm doesn't comfortably come down to that leg, place some height there. So maybe your brick or your bolster. My bolster is closest, so I'm going to place that on top of my leg. And I can rest my left elbow there. You support your head or your face in your hand. And then the right arm is going to either drape overhead, or you can wrap it around the low back and the palm can face away from you. 1 minute here. I want to go with this variation. And sit yourself back up, and let's stretch out that right leg. Put your bolster just off to the side. We're going to use it for the second side. Lay back on the beach momentarily. Now we're going to do all that sequence laying on the left side to start. Our supported side bend, lying Buddha, and that lateral half butterfly. And if you follow me and you're on the same side, this is all going to make sense to you. Otherwise, you're going to switch to the other side. So I'm going to lay it on my left side, bring that left rib cage as best you can onto the bolster. Float those legs up into a chair position. Extend the arms overhead. Interlace the fingers together, releasing index fingers and their thumbs so you're in steeple position, and hopefully your arm will support your head. Good, and push your way up enough so you can slide your bolster out of the way. Extend those legs long, stack them on top of one another. Hands are on your mat, you're pushing your way up into that lying Buddha. And then all the way up to your seat, bend in that left knee, extend that right leg out to the side. I know I'm going to use some height. I'm going to grab that bolster, place it on my right leg. It could be your brick though, or what have you. Coming over towards the right, there's that lateral flexion of a side bend. Support your face and your arm, your hand. Left arm overhead or around the low back. Last minute here. And come back up. Bolster off the mat, off to the side or your bricks. And stretch out that left leg and lean back for a moment. Good. We'll talk about the next one before we get into it. You're still kind of rebounding into melting heart. You can do this with or without your bricks. I will show it with the bricks, but know that your hands could also be on your mat. Okay. And the bricks will have two heights that you can play with on that. Let's sit ourselves up. I'm going to grab my bricks, place them at the top of my mat. I'm now going this way. Okay. Bricks can be all the way flat down, big surface area for the hands to be, or they might be that second height. I'm going to go with lots of surface area so my hands get comfortably on there. Remember, you don't have to have the bricks there. I'm going to place my hands there, back the hips up. Keep those hips high over the knees, and then let your heart melt towards the mat, dropping your head in between your arms. Okay, if you weren't there, right, forehead maybe coming to the mat, if your hands are down on the mat. And I recommend shifting your weight up and forward towards those hands. It's quite a stretch. And then bring your knees underneath, slide those bricks off to the side, right into butterfly. And maybe some of you might even want to use those bricks on the outsides of the thighs. Okay, you come into butterfly. To start butterfly, foot soles come to the mat, let those knees fall out to the side. We're looking for that diamond shape between the legs. Maybe you have to slide your heels out. Opportunity, right? If you want to place, if it's one side that's bothering you, if it's both sides it's a little bit too much, you can place those bricks underneath there. Sit up nice and tall to start, and then lean forward. When you feel like that's far enough, hands will support you wherever that is that they came to for you. Maybe pull the chin down towards the heart, but you can let the back come into flexion of that C spine here, C shape I should say, not the C spine. And to me, I feel like butterfly is one of those guilty pleasure shapes in yin. I like it. It's not too stressful. It's pretty basic. But for some of us, maybe it is stressful. And slowly, carefully, sit yourself back up, draw those knees together, use your hands to do so, and we're going to lower onto the back, finish with our supine twist, our floor twist. Bend at the knees, place the foot soles on the mat, and with an exhale, we drop those knees over towards the left, and you can look over your right shoulder, maybe stretch those arms straight out, or you can take goalpost arms. Alright, we're going to draw the knees, the gaze back to center, and switch to the other side. Drop on your knees, if you're following me, over to the right, and maybe looking over your left shoulder. And you don't have to take the gaze over the shoulder, you could also keep it up towards your ceiling. And draw your gaze and your knees back up. Stretch those legs long, only if that's comfortable for your Shavasana. If you want to keep your knees bent, feet on the mat, you can let your knees fall into one another and feet can flare out to the sides of your mat. Leaving you in silence for a couple more minutes. You could even stretch your arms overhead. If you'll be more comfortable, bring your arms alongside by the hips. If you have the chance to stay here longer, go ahead and stay here. But if you have to get moving, we'll bring the foot soles back to the mat. And go ahead and roll onto your preferred side. So we're slowly transitioning back to the rest of our day. Using that hand, that top hand, you push your way up to your seat. Thank you for joining me for this heart chakra. I hope your heart is feeling open, and lots of love from me to you. Namaste.